On this episode of Living the Dream, Captain Jimmy Nelson is back in Crocodile Bay. After landing some aggressive roosterfish, the team heads offshore to fish a school of spinner dolphins. And the yellowfin tuna can't resist the Yo-Zuri bull poppers. Living the Dream with Captain Jimmy Nelson is presented by Salt Life. Live salty.
Good fish. Man, what a fish. Wow. Doesn't get any better than Baja.
This is awesome.
I'm talking about. We flew from Orlando, Florida to San Jose, Costa Rica, and once in San Jose, we jumped on a smaller plane for a 40-minute flight to the Osa Peninsula, which is where Crocodile Bay Resort is located. Crocodile Bay Resort is just a beautiful place. There are so many neat things on site. And you can walk over these little bridges where you can see some caimans and crocodiles and other wildlife as well in the water. So the goal for today was to go out and catch some roosterfish. It was sunny for like 5 days straight, and then all of a sudden we lost all of our light and it was completely cloudy out for our day of inshore fishing. We made our first stop and started trolling some pilchards. And right away, we hooked into a roosterfish. Oh, a little baby rooster. Got that roosterfish close to the boat and I grabbed him by his tail and pulled him in. There he is. Little baby rooster. All right, that's a good way to start it off out here. Got an overcast day out at Crocodile Bay Resort here in Costa Rica and just started trolling some little pilchards that we sabikied up earlier with the ahi sabikis. And the first thing we caught is a little baby rooster, so I'm sure we're gonna catch some bigger ones. But man, they are pretty fish, aren't they? Look at the colors on that thing. Before I'd even got that fish back in the water, Luiza hooked up.
Another baby rooster, Jimmy. Look at this one jumping.
Roosterfish are such a neat looking fish. They're just so colorful. So we got her roosterfish in and pulled it up and we started showing that pair of roosterfish off. It was a really cool way to start the morning with a nice double on roosterfish. Didn't even get a chance to get mine back in the water yet and she's already got one hooked up. I thought mine was gonna be the little fish of the day, but it looks like she got one even smaller.
Yeah, mine a little smaller. I never caught a small rooster like this. All the ones I catch usually big.
Yeah, good competition to have. We'll see if we can catch the smallest one today.
Yeah, let's do it.
Those two fish swam away with no problem at all. There's no reason at all to keep a roosterfish. They're not any good to eat. They're very, very dark meat. So when you catch them, you do want to get them back in the water pretty quickly so that they'll swim away healthy. So Luiza started putting one of those live baits out and she got hit as she was putting the live bait in the water.
Got a fish on.
All right, fish on.
Woo! It's right here by the boat.
It's really cool being able to fish with Luiza all the time and spend time on the water with her. Because she loves to fish, so it's always exciting to get out there with your better half and just pull in some fish and have a good morning inshore. Oh, wow! Jump like a largemouth bass.
I was about to say this fish thinks he's a dolphin or something.
It was another nice roosterfish, a little bit bigger than the other ones that we'd hooked. right. When you start catching roosterfish one size, they usually all start coming in that size because when they get schooled up, they school up with fish about the same size as themselves. Another nice roosterfish from Luiza.
All right.
Such an overcast day, a little gloomy out, but the little roosters are very active.
Super aggressive fish.
Yes, well done. Got a couple nice jumps out of them too, huh?
All right, this nice roosterfish put up a good fight, so we're about to release him now. Catch me when it's bigger.
We'll be back for more Living the Dream right after the break. Living the Dream with Captain Jimmy Nelson is made possible by Salt Life. Live salty. Sea Deck. Your boat deserves Sea Deck. C&H Lures. Be a winner with C&H Lures. Yozuri. Fish the best. Angle Coolers. The original high-performance cooler. And by Cressy since 1946. Captain Jimmy Nelson and Luiza are back in Costa Rica on the Osa Peninsula at the Crocodile Bay Resort. After walking the long dock to meet their captain, they headed out for some inshore fishing.
Another tour that we did while we were here was the Snake and Frog tour. This tour was really cool because it specifically targeted frogs and snakes, which is something I really like seeing. I think they actually call it the amphibian and reptile tour. We saw a ton of red-eyed tree frogs. Beautiful, beautiful frogs. Very bright green with big red eyes. One of the highlights of the trip was running into an eyelash viper. Eyelash vipers are extremely poisonous, so you do have to be very careful when you approach one of them. We also saw some of the red poison dart frogs. After that, we ran into a black and green poison dart frog. Something I'm not into is spiders, and we did run into a spider, a big tarantula, inside of a broken log, like a hollowed out log.
Back on the water, the skies begin to clear, and the team decides to head offshore.
The captain got a call on the radio that one of the other boats found a school of spinner dolphin, so we decided to pack everything up and run offshore in hopes of catching a big tuna. So we pull up to the school of dolphin, and they are everywhere. There's little dolphin jumping and spinning, bigger ones jumping and spinning. We see tuna popping out of the water. There's boats running around them, fishing on them. An amazing spectacle to see all these dolphin and birds and everything just jumping and moving around you. And I know just from fishing them on a regular basis that you do want your lures diving a little bit deeper in the water typically, so I decided to start by putting the diving lures out. And right away, I got hit. So Luiza just released that roosterfish, and we got a call on the radio that there was some spinner dolphin out here from the other boat. So we decided to run out here and see if we can catch some tuna under them. And sure enough, right after I put this Yo-Zuri Hydro Magnum in the water, got hooked up. And I've fished spinner dolphins several times in the past, several times here in Costa Rica and Panama and Mexico, different areas. And every time I've been on them, we've done very, very good with the tuna. So I got that fish closer to the boat and we pulled him in. And that's one of the beautiful things about fishing out here in Costa Rica is that you can be catching roosterfish 1 minute and 5 minutes later catching yellowfin tuna. It's so awesome being able to catch inshore and offshore fish in the same day. This isn't a real big one, but it's gonna make some great sashimi tonight. We'll see if there's any bigger ones in the school here. Real nice fish. You can see him right there. He's hooked on that Yo-Zuri Hydro Magnum. That did the trick. That looks kind of like the bonita and stuff that are out here running along with him too. So we got set back up, we put the diving lures back out again, and started trolling in front of the school of dolphin to see if we could pick up another yellowfin tuna. It wasn't 3 minutes later and Luiza and I had a double on the yellowfin tuna. Doubled up on the Yo-Zuri Hydro Magnums, buddy. These are smaller tuna. They weren't real big, but they were still a lot of fun to fight. So I got that tuna closer to the boat and realized it was small enough to lift in, so I went ahead and just lifted it straight in the boat. Not long after I pulled mine in, Luiza pulled hers in. We had our first double on yellowfin tuna for the day. Those were kind of small tuna, so if we caught any more of that size, we decided we were going to release them. All right, well, there's the double. They're going pretty crazy there. And a little smaller than the last ones, but we're in them now, so we're not going to prolong this anymore. We're going to get these guys in the Engle cooler. We're going to go out there and try to catch a couple more. How about that?
Let's do it.
Right.
It's tuna o'clock.
Yes. And in the distance, we could see some of the yellowfin tuna jumping out of the water. So I got my popper ready and ran up to the bow of the boat. I slung that popper out there and I got to pop it about 2 times before I had one explode on it. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Living the Dream with Captain Jimmy Nelson is made possible by Salt Life Optics, unparalleled clarity and contrast. Cayman Islands Angling Club. Come experience sport fishing in paradise. Papa's Pilar. Never a spectator. Plantation on Crystal River. The place to stay and play along Florida's nature coast. And by American Fishing Wire.